My name is Welch and you're watching the Unboxing YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to unbox and discuss the Chris Farmer Pro 50/50 Prime Frame, and afterwards I'm going to set them up on my Chris Farmer USD Sway boot, which is this boot right here, and this is the Farmer Pro boot with the new sole kit, and the frames were designed specifically for this boot with similar colors. I'm really excited to try these prime frames on these boots. I've been actually skating the Wish frames for several years now. The same set with the same set of wheels. They're getting really worn. They also seem to hurt my legs a little bit more now because the height, now that I'm older. So I wanted to kind of try a smaller frame, and what better frame to try on these Sways than the Farmer Pro model. These are the large. They're 270 millimeter frame length. They also have a 250 millimeter frame length for a smaller size skate. I wear a 10.5, so the large size is perfect for me, and they are UFS standard mounting. And the box itself is very nice. It's got a prime frame on the cover. Tells you it's UFS. Also tells you that it's part of the core system, the Core 2 system, which I will get into shortly. But let's check out what's in the box. We have two frames, which we need, of course. Like I had mentioned, it's the same color scheme as the Sway boot. It looks really cool. It's got Farmer's name. It's got 50/50. It has your 4 axles. It's got the design. You only need 1 wrench because it has these rectangle bolts that go in here. So you only have a wrench on one side, which makes changing wheels really easy. It comes with bearing spacers, has 8mm axles, and it's based off the Core 2 system. So the Core 2 system has this extruded aluminum metal core in the middle, and it has plastic frame walls that are attached to it. Now these frame walls can be replaced. It's actually not that difficult to do it, but what you need to do to replace the frame walls, to switch them out, is mount these onto your boot first. I learned the hard way because this aluminum has some very sharp parts here on these lines, and I cut the tip of my fingers twice trying to take this off. So I will take this off when I put it on the boot itself. So whatever you do, make sure you only change the walls while the core is mounted to your skate. Some of you might be asking yourselves, what is the core system? And the core system is really a 2-piece frame design. Traditionally, frames are made as a 1-piece plastic molded frame. With this, you have the aluminum core, like I mentioned, and you have the frame walls. This is not actually new technology. This was developed by 50/50 in 2003, and that would have been the Core 1. Well, 50/50 stopped making frames for a really long time. They were a dead brand. But Lawrence Ingram resurrected 50/50, and in 2021, he developed the Core 2 system, which is what this is right here. This is a very revolutionary design, and I'll tell you why. Since 3D printing has become so accessible for people to do at home now, they've actually made the design of this an open source. So anyone can design or make or even sell the frame walls for the core system. You can actually sell them through 50/50 on the core frame market, and it's a really cool concept, and there's some really cool frames on there. There's all sorts of options. You can actually just order the plastic walls on that site, or you can order the walls and the core system as one frame. But you can use this core forever, and you can always put different walls on it. And it's very durable. This core is actually taking all the abuse. This plastic just kind of holds your grinds in place. It's a very solid frame. It's very good for skate parks. I've heard it's not the best frame for gaps because it's very stiff with that aluminum. Doesn't forgive very well. But it's gonna last forever. And if it doesn't, it does have a lifetime guarantee, which is really cool. And that's just for the core itself. It should never break. And yeah, very cool concept. I actually got some wheels from Lawrence as well, and he sent me a set of 8 50/50 58mm wheels that already have bearings inside of them, and that's a service he does. You can order a complete frame on this side as well. You can order it flat, or you can order it with nothing, or you can order it as an anti-rocker setup. These walls on the Farmer frame are injection molded with glass-filled nylon. So it's a different type of material you would get with the 3D printed frames. You can also do UMHW, but it's very versatile, and there's a lot of different materials that you can use to build the walls for these frames. And Lawrence, I talked to him the other day, he actually prints frames for people or the frame walls on a 3D printer all day long. And these are different core walls that are available on the marketplace. And I will have a link to that in the description below. I'll have links to where you can order this frame, where you can order the wheels, and where you can order the Pro Skate, the Sway, and have your complete setup. If you're a true Farmer fan and you want the true Farmer setup, you would rock this frame, you would use the Sway boot, and you would get the Farmer Red Eye Pro wheel, which is a orange wheel, and I'll see if I can link that in the description below as well. Let's take one quick look at these wheels. These are the 50/50 58mm 90A wheels. This is an awesome setup, and I've never skated a 50/50 frame in my life. Never. Not once. This is my first pair of 50/50 frames. John Elliott was one of my best friends. He owned Ground Control, so I only skated Ground Control frames for a good 12 years. So I'm very excited to try something new. I haven't really tried many different frame options, so finally, in my later life, I am experimenting more. So it's really cool, and yeah, let's see what it all looks like together. And here it is. This is the 50/50 Prime Chris Farmer frames with the 50/50 58mm wheels flat on the USD Sway Chris Farmer Pro model. If you're interested about these boots themselves, I actually did a first impressions video with legendary skater Robert Guerrero. You can check that out up here in the corner. There's a card. It links to the video we did. So let's discuss these frames a little bit more, because that's what this video is about. What I really like about this frame is how big the groove is. That's 120 millimeters. That's quite a bit. If you're riding anti-rocker, that's going to be really nice as well. This is the smallest wheel setup I've had in a long time. I mean, it's a 58 flat, but I don't think I've skated below 60 in probably a decade. So this is going to be pretty fun, I think, to do this again. I'm mainly going to be skating this setup in the park because I feel like the core frame is the ultimate park frame. If you do have core frames, I'd like to hear what your preferred thing to skate with them is. Do you love them on street? Do you love them on park? Have you tried gaps? I mentioned earlier that gaps are not ideal with these frames. Let me know what you think about that. And I went ahead and set up the other pair of these boots without putting wheels in it, so we can actually take the plastic wall off and see what the core itself looks like. So this is the boot without the wheels on it. I've already taken out the frame spacers, which are these little things go in here. So each one has frame spacers. The ones in the metal, you can leave those in. Those kind of are what hold the frame wall on. You decide you want to get a new frame wall, all you have to do is pop this one off and pop another one on. And like I mentioned, you have all those options available on the core frame market, or you can get a 3D printer yourself and start testing out making your own walls for the Core 2 frames, which is pretty cool. And the Core Frame Marketplace does have the source files for the 3D printers to be able to start printing your frames and working on your designs. With all the axles out and the middle washers, frame spacers removed, you can go to one side, pull the frame wall apart, kind of tricky, and then once it's pulled off of these washers, you can just kind of pull it off and you just pop it off. And that's what the core looks like. That's the core system. That's the Core 2 system. And with this opening right here, you have so many potential frame designs people can make. That's why you can have a freestyle frame. But it's very solid. You know, I held this by itself the other day, and it doesn't flex, it doesn't move, it is solid. And this is just there for grinding, you know, and making the shape. But this is really the support. Here's what a wall looks like. It's kind of hollow in there. H-block. The core slides in there. A really cool concept, a really cool design. Even this frame's a little sharp right here in the corner. That's pretty sharp. I didn't cut myself, but I definitely scratched myself. So be careful. Be careful when you're playing around with these frames, putting different things on. Very easy to put back on. Then you just toss in all your little frame spacers, put your wheels in, screw it back together, and then you have your complete skate. Which I'm really pumped on this. I'm really pumped on this setup. I'm really looking forward to skating these. I will be making a video skating these. It is winter here in Vermont, and we're finally getting snow. So outside skating, probably not going to happen for a while, even though I will try to skate outside to get a little bit of wear in these wheels before I take them to the skate park. but I will be trying to go to skate park in Burlington sometime soon to try these out. Very happy with them. I will have links to everything I discussed in this video in the description below, and I have links where you can order the frames, because these farmer frames are really cool, and they've been out for a little while. So if you're after these farmer frames, go ahead and click that link in the description below to buy these right now before they're gone forever. And yeah, and I'll have links to the marketplace, to these wheels, to the boot. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, hit the bell icon to be notified. Anytime I upload new videos like this, I do a podcast, I have talks called Let's Talk Rollerblading, where I talk to somebody in the industry and we just BS about cool blading stuff for 2 hours. And if you're a blade nerd and you like industry news and different things, it's a cool show. I have links to my social media in the description below. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go ahead and follow me on all of those. And if you like this channel and you want to support it, I have a link to my Patreon page where you can become a member, have access to some exclusive content, and basically just help me create more videos. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all back here very soon at the Unbox YouTube channel.